Hey, guys, so I haven't really been uploading that much this week, except for, the It parodies, and I wanna just say, I'm not doing one today. I've done one the past 2 days, and I was going to do one today, but I just could not think of a good enough idea that I really felt like I could make work. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna try and, just milk this thing dry and just keep doing them just to do them. I want it to feel right and deserve to, be made and not just be something I'm throwing out for the sake of throwing it out. So I just decided I'm not gonna do another one, but I am very, very happy with the two that we have. So, just getting that out of the way, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. So, Guardians of the Galaxy was announced at, I believe, 2013 Comic-Con, when they also, or it might have been, I don't know, it might have been the year before when they, announced Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Might have been around that time. Actually, yeah, I think it was. And then Comic-Con 2013 is when they showed the trailer. But, yeah, this movie was something that a lot of people were not expecting to be announced, because who the heck are the Guardians of the Galaxy? Nobody knows who the Guardians of the Galaxy are. Seriously. So, then the trailer came out, and the trailer was freaking amazing. I remember being... I remember exactly where I was when the trailer premiered, and we saw the first look at the movie, and they had the music, they had Hooked on a Feeling, Blue Suede, in the trailer, and we got to see kind of a look at how this movie was going to be tonally, and I was hooked. Pun intended. Yeah. And then I remember going to see it too, because me, my grandma, and my brother, we went to Mackinac Island in August of 2014, and they have a little theater there. It's not a great theater, but it's okay. And I remember, it was the weekend that the movie came out, so it was kind of later on at night. There wasn't really anything to do. We were staying in the city, so we went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy in the little Mackinac Theater, and that was really fun. So now let's talk about the movie. So Guardians of the Galaxy tells the story of Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord. He steals an orb that this guy Ronan wants. So, once he figures out what it is, to protect the galaxy, he's kind of forced to team up with these people that he kind of bumps into. There's a gun-toting raccoon named Rocket, a tree person named Groot, an assassin, Gamora, and the vengeance-driven Drax. So, Chris Pratt. Holy crap, was Chris Pratt amazing. Never heard of this guy before this movie came out. Never seen him in anything. I know he was big on Parks and Rec. I never watched Parks and Rec. I definitely need to. One of my friends was just telling me today, actually, how he was catching up on it, and he recommended it. And I actually just finished Friends, and I started on That 70s Show, so once I get done with That 70s Show, I'll probably get started on Parks and Rec. But, yeah, I never heard of Chris Pratt up until this movie came out, and he is great as Star-Lord. He's got a great balance of humor and heart, and that makes him really entertaining as a character. He's got some pretty decent, heavy moments, besides just being this roguish Han Solo type character, and I really, really liked that about his character in particular. And it was kind of cool that he, because I guess he used to be kind of pudgy and He was kind of fat, okay? And he lost like a ton of weight and got really muscular to be in this movie. And I remember when people were talking about how he like got super ripped to play this part, and I remember when when he posted the first picture of it and people were talking about it, and it was like a big deal. But yeah, then we have Zoe Saldana, who is actually really great as Gamora. Her no-nonsense demeanor contrasts well with Chris Pratt's acting, and it makes the two of them very fun to watch on screen together, because besides Rocket and Groot, these two are kind of the pair that's focused on. There's two pairs that are focused on in the movie. There's Rocket and Groot, because they have their whole dynamic that they've been friends forever. And then you have Chris Pratt, or Star-Lord, and Gamora. And Star-Lord kind of likes Gamora, sort of. But Gamora, she's an assassin. She's really serious, and she doesn't really like him that much. But they definitely have like a bit of a chemistry going on, and they have some back and forths in the movie, and just the moments that they share together, I thought were really good. I thought, all in all, the romance in the movie is one of the better comic book movie romances I've seen. Even though it's not even really a romance, it doesn't become really a romance until Volume 2, but yeah. And then you have Dave Bautista as Drax. He's pretty good. He's very serious, and I would say his acting is kind of wooden, and I would put that as kind of a downside, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of what the character is supposed to be. So in a way, the fact that Dave Bautista isn't really a great actor makes the character work better, because he's just very serious and wooden all the time, and his seriousness and just the way he delivers his lines in a very deadpan kind of way, it gives him some of the funniest moments in the movie. And I never thought I would ever see a movie where someone doing a subpar job at acting makes the character really entertaining. It's just really weird. But then you have Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel, who steal the movie as Rocket and Groot. They add some of the most fun and humor to the movie. Rocket is super cool. He's got some really great moments, some cool action scenes. Groot, he's funny. The two of them have very funny interactions, and Groot, the way he interacts with other characters is really great, because all he says is, "I am Groot," and so just seeing like the way other people interact with him is kind of cool and funny. It's just really funny, because all he ever says is, "I am Groot." And there's a really funny back and forth with Star-Lord in the movie, where he's like, "I am Groot." And Star-Lord was like, "Yeah, I gathered that from the other 18 million times you told me," or however, and whatever he said. I don't know the script word for word, don't judge me. But yeah, I really liked all of the main characters in this movie. And then you have Lee Pace as Ronan. He's pretty good. Not one of the best or most memorable villains, but definitely a pretty good and menacing one for this movie. And you'll notice, I spend the majority of this review talking about the characters, because that's where the movie really shines, as the characters. But I will be done in just a moment talking about the characters. I just want to say real quick, a couple other characters that stand out in the movie are Michael Rooker as Yondu, who gets a much bigger part in the second movie, and I definitely liked his character progression in both of the movies. If you watch both of the movies together, the character progression is really good. And then you have John C. Reilly as Corpsman Day. He's funny. I never thought I'd see John C. Reilly in a Marvel movie, and he was one of the actual best parts of this movie. He has a really small part, but he's really funny, and I hope that they bring him back in a later movie. And then you have Glenn Close as Nova Prime, another unexpected person to show up in this movie. I was not expecting Glenn Close, and she's pretty good. She even has a couple of funny moments. So yeah, then moving on from the actors and characters, the writing and direction is amazing. The characters all get their moments to shine. The humor hits really well. And I gotta say, James Gunn is one of the best writer-directors working today. He hasn't always made hits with his writing. He wrote the Scooby-Doo movies, which aren't terrible, but they aren't good either. But some of the writing in there is actually pretty good. And then, you know, I haven't seen Slither, but I've heard some good things about Slither, so I do want to see it. But yeah, the action is pretty good, whether it's the small-scale action sequence near the beginning, the epic space battle, or even the scene with Yondu and his arrow with the Sakaran. It's all really good action. And this movie is just a perfect example of the way to make an Avengers-type team-up movie without having 5 years worth of movies to set up these characters. And I gotta say, I love this movie. Obviously, I absolutely love this movie. This is one of the best Marvel movies, especially since it was such a surprise hit. Considering no one really knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, it was a bit of a risk, and it definitely paid off. I personally like Volume 2 better, and I think Volume 2 is the best Marvel movie overall, like the best movie in the MCU. But yeah, this movie is just a really fun and action-packed adventure movie that entertains throughout and has a lot of humor, but also a lot of heart to balance it out. And I would definitely give it an A+, and highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's one of my favorite comic book movies, it's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and it led to the creation of my absolute favorite Marvel movie, and if this movie had failed, never would have gotten that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of Guardians of the Galaxy if you've seen it. Check out the link in the description to our Patreon page, and leave a like if you like this video. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the movie. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.